Thank you very much, David, and for all those that speak Farsi, it's Bezan, and Bezan in Farsi means yeah. I also want to recognize two of our other colleagues who are joined by Candace Bergen, the House Leader for the Conservative Party, and she's been a great supporter. My new MP, Jazz Hallan. Jazz? Fighting for human rights since he's been elected. Friends, well, first of all, I want to thank Sharam for putting on tonight's event and for all the work that the Iranian Democracy Association has done over the years. Ever since I first came to the Hill 15 years ago, I started working with Sharam on recognizing the terrorist regime that exists in Tehran today. We have so much work to do, but I'm proud of the work that we were able to accomplish. Under the former Conservative government, we were able to delist the MEK as a terrorist organization. And in return, we listed the Quds Force as a terrorist organization. And we continue to watch how they not only destabilize the entire region, but how they have carried out their evil and terrorist attacks in Syria, on the streets of Baghdad, and throughout Iran. Those innocent protesters back in the fall who were standing up against the Ayatollah and his terrorist regime, against the abuse that they were facing by the Iraqi government, demanding change, demanding the end of corruption. And how did they pay? With brutality on the streets, over 1,500 murdered just because they wanted to speak out. You know, we passed in the last Parliament a Conservative motion brought forward by our colleague Garnet Janis. A motion to actually list the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, as a terrorist organization. It has been almost 2 years, and the federal Liberal government has done nothing. Maybe if we'd done something before, perhaps the shooting down of Flight 752 wouldn't have happened. Now, I know that all of us join in the condemnation of General Soleimani, and he deservedly got his own medicine by being taken out by the United States on beside the Baghdad International Airport. But each and every one of us know that the reaction was unnecessary by the Iranian regime. It was unnecessary for them to fire missiles at US and Canadian forces based in Iraq. And then to ultimately turn around and shoot down a civilian airliner from Ukraine, killing 57 Canadians and dozens of others that were studying here or were permanent residents in Canada. Some of those families come right here from Ottawa. That was unconscionable. We have to make sure that we hold the regime to account. You know, I was proud in the last Parliament to bring forward the legislation that established the Magnitsky sanctions. And Sergei Magnitsky, a Russian accountant and whistleblower, fought to end corruption. And I was proud that we were able to work across party lines and put together a great piece of legislation. Unfortunately, the Liberals have not listed a single actor within the Iranian regime on that sanctions list. The number one name on the Magnitsky sanctions list in Canada is Venezuelan President Maduro. Maduro is number one on the list. So if we can list a Venezuelan president who is corrupt and evil, why can't we put Ayatollah Khomeini on that list? Why can't we put President Rouhani on that list? The chief propagandist and foreign minister who has blood on his hands, Zarif. You know, I think all of us were shocked and embarrassed when our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, met Foreign Minister Zarif. And when you see this glad-handing, backslapping, and bowing to someone as corrupt, someone who has carried out the execution orders of innocent people because they were either political prisoners, ethnic minorities, religious minorities, that should never be forgiven by bowing and acknowledge them as being your superior. That to me was a big embarrassment for Canada. It was a lack of leadership or weak leadership, and it's something that we'll never forget. But I can guarantee to you this, that our Conservative Party, that our colleagues in both the House of Commons and over in the Senate, we will continue to fight for justice. That Iranian officials, not just those who are responsible for shooting down Flight 752, but for those that carried out the massacre in 1988, those that have continued to execute and persecute ethnic and religious minorities and political opponents, and those who just want to protest on the streets peacefully, that they are held to account. We believe that there needs to be an international criminal investigation into how this regime has acted over its 41 long years. And ultimately, we all dream of the day when there is no longer the Ayatollah, his mullahs, and his regime in charge of the great people of Iran.